blessing. Oh, I get sure my hair is like actually sitting on my head for reals though. It's a little crazy up here, like a little zippy doo 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 yah yay. Little zip doo 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 yah yay. A little shoop doo 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 yah yay. Shoop doo 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 yah yay. Shoop doo 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 yah yay. Shoop doo 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 yah yay. Shoop doo 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 na 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 yah yay. Let me move it over here so you can see the cat. Yeah. Let me see my hair up here. Let's see a little something there. Little bump in here, little bump. Little kitty. It's in my body. It's in my body. Yeah, it started. What's good, chat? What's going down? I know I'm a wee bit late, but forgive me. I'm coming off of retrograde. So not too much. Thank you very much. How we doing? How we feeling? How we living? Please let me know in the comment box down below. Today we are doing, again, every Tuesday, live readings. So if you're interested in getting a personal reading, those readings are still donation-based. Link below and all the information there. Krushan. What up, Krushan? Krushan. You got my name, Crew. Good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, birth info. There's a link down below in the description box with the Candidly and things. So if you would like a personal reading, like I said, they're donation based, and all that information is down in the link box below. I gotcha. Let's go. I've been Crew since 2012. I was thinking the same for you. Dang, let me think. When did I become? Hold on, let me see. Let me think. I think 2017. Yeah, 2017 is how long I've been Crew. For sure. Wait, what made you? What? How did you transition to Crew? I should say. Please let me know. And everybody else in the chat. I'm pulling everything up, so for readings, 1 second. She's running a little bit behind her there, you know what I'm saying? Dang, that's cool. Crew means instructor in Thai, and I used to teach Muay Thai. That's what's up. It was a download for me, honestly, personally. Like, they're like, your name is Crew. Your name's Crew. Like, basically, you are Crew. You are Crew. You are Crew. And I said, oh, okay. It was after like a long meditation. I was in the middle of a transition in my life. You know, I was going to the water a lot. I was meditating by the water, and you know what I'm saying? And I was getting this download of my name, and from that day forward, she was Crew. And I said, oh, I don't know. And then so when I started looking it up, you are a teacher, nice one, thank you. No, when I actually started looking it up, like, well, what does that name represent? What does that mean? Like, where is this name coming from? One of the things that I found in looking up the name was Crew is actually a place in Kemet where the pharaohs used to rest. So the pharaohs used to rest in a place called Crew. And also not only the pharaohs used to rest in a place called Crew, but there was the Crew people in Liberia. There's if you go to Liberia, there's a tribe called the Crew people. And when I introduced myself as Crew, somebody randomly in the mall, like a couple years back, was like, oh my God, I'm Liberian. Like, what? Are you a part of the Crew tribe? And I was like, I guess so. But it's a bunch of fishermen. It's a fisherman tribe in Liberia is another name for Crew as well, too. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, I got everything pulled up. So... Yeah, if you want to, crew, so interesting calling somebody else crew. Past lives, downloads, that's what's up. No, seriously. And you know what? When I was looking at my astrocartography chart, I have a line running directly like a past life. Like one of my moon line, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is running through Liberia. Like there's Nigeria, you know, Benin. There's like a line with like Benin, and then right beside it is Liberia. Not Liberia. Is it Liberia? Libya? Not Libya. Liberia, right? Yeah, Liberia. And there's a line running through it. And I'm like, oh, I must have, you know, went past this place in a past life, or I visited this place in a past life. I'm like, definitely a place I want to go. That Senegal is another one that I've always been drawn to. And I don't know if, I think it's Charlie that was in here. No, or Annie that was in here. But Morocco is another one that I've been wanting to go to. Specifically for the fashion, okay? And also for the fabrics and stuff like that. I'm not particularly done with this shirt, but should I do a little turnaround? Hold on, let me make sure my bottoms is on, because they don't want to see my little fly swatter and everything else going on down here. I made this shirt. It's not finished though, so not too much, okay? I still have like other things to do. I've just been freehanding shirts. Like this shirt right here, I might have showed this for y'all coming on the last live. This shirt right here, I'm in love with this shirt. It has like the little butterfly things right here going on. So, Morocco is the land of the Moors, Morocco. You know what? I never made those two comparisons, but now it makes a lot of sense, right? I'm also going to be talking about the Moors because I feel like, not tonight, but I'm going to be doing a Pluto and Aquarius series video on the Moors, because I feel like, now it's not to say that the Moors are gone. Oh, no, not the Moors. Maybe it is the Moors, but the Maroon people is what I actually was trying to say. The Maroon tribes that existed during Pluto. I guess created in Pluto and Aquarius, but also was on the rise during Pluto and Aquarius. So, not the Moors. But I know what you're talking about when you are talking about the Moors as well, too. I love the Moors. I'm trying to think of his name, who was what is that man name who was a leader? I don't know why I just heard Trinidad James. That's not what I'm talking about. What's it called? I can't think of it. His name's what site for astrocartography? I actually use a site called Astro Trick. Whoa. I use a site called Astro Click Travel. For astrocartography, if I'm like looking into, you know, places and things that I want to go to. They do have other software programs, but if you just kind of want the basics of what you could be looking at for your chart, Astro Click Travel is one that you can actually go to pull up for your personal chart. And also, if you look back, even if you like not looking like to go to a place or move to a place, if you look back in your astrocartography chart of like places that you've originally been, and you're like, you know, I don't know why, like I always felt this energy every time I go to this place, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dang, it's so crazy. Yeah, I've seen info on different sites. I'm not sure which is accurate. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like Astro Click Travel for me has been the most accurate that I've seen. But then I think going to the place and experiencing the energy, I think helps me kind of lock down exactly what kind of energy that I'm experiencing in that place. You know what I mean? You want to go out? Okay. So yeah. So whatever I feel like, especially in astrocartography, what feels, you know, good for you, what you feel like, you know, most resonates with you and the planet, especially planetary wise. And I'm gonna say this, you know, and this is something we've been talking about just with this astrocartography series, is like they're not created equal at all. Yeah, usually there's an internal pull to certain places that link up. Do you have any suggestions on Sag placements? I actually do. I'm actually right now on my North Node line right now. My North Node in Sagittarius and my MC line here where I'm at right now. Honestly, I feel like, especially when you have a lot of Sag placements, especially if you're looking to be in a place that has that, honestly, this is a place where you can find yourself wanting to travel. So maybe you have like this place as a base or a place that you come to, but you also are traveling to other places. If you're interested in, learning different languages, different cultures, because the thing about Sagittarius, it's gonna put you out your comfort zone. If you kind of in the opposite energy with like the Geminian energy, you know what I'm saying? You said you got your North Node, Sag, Moon, and Rising. Oh yeah. You definitely need to be in places that challenge you. Even like you said, like Muay Thai. So going to places that maybe you find some type of like monastery, because Sagittarius, I know sometimes because we look at it as fire, we look a lot of times as fire, we look at us as like the busybodies, but honestly, I feel like these are places that you would go to, so you can like go and study, you can go and do research, you can go and teach, you can go and, like I said, learn new languages, like learning about trade and travel, meeting other cultures in different places as well too with this Sagittarius energy, or specifically with the Sagittarius stellium here, but it needs to be in a place that it feels like it can expand. It needs to be in a place also that it feels like it has like the necessary time to kind of go in that hermit's cave a little bit. I know we're not talking about Virgo, but you want to be in those places that can give you that. You said I got Sag in my 10th house. Same, Taylor, same. What's good, Taylor? How you doing? How you feeling? So yeah, if you're looking for that, especially like, just kind of like that expansion, moving around, kind of being able to kind of go to different places and spaces and not necessarily feel like you're locked down, that I would definitely look to Sagittarius placements as you want to look at the rest of your chart though to see what this Sagittarius energy is like aspecting when it comes to locational astrocartography, but for the most part, just as a baseline, Sag energy, if you're looking to be in those places, it needs to be in a place where you can like grow and expand, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, depending on where it is in your chart, for sure. So for example, Taylor, like having Sagittarius in the 10th house, or I can even use myself because I have Sagittarius in the 10th house as well too. Happy you on your live, love your channel. Thank you, Taylor, I appreciate that. Thank you for coming through. I try to go live every Tuesdays. Sometimes I go sporadically, other days of the week, but you will find me here for real every Tuesday. It's all Jupiter in the first house. I've also got Jupiter on the MC. Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds like a lifetime, honestly, of expansion, of like you needing to go out and explore. Honestly, when I look at Sagittarius, especially in the first house, just in general, and then just having like that stellium there, you probably lived like a past life where maybe you were like restricted, or maybe you were a student of some sort, or coming from like, let me think. If Sagittarius is the first house, then that would mean that, Pisces is Pisces is the 4th house. And then Capricorn is the 12th house. So yeah, honestly, to me, a lot of times I can feel like, basically putting yourself in a position that you can like go off and, your spiritual beliefs and also just like your personal beliefs are changing in this lifetime. Like if you were fixated to some type of belief in a past life, then maybe like your whole belief system is starting to shift and change. Or maybe if you had like a specific belief system that you resonated with, in the family dynamic when you were younger, now you're like going off and figuring out your own beliefs. And maybe there are some things that you resonated with, growing up, with that 4th house in Pisces, but now that you're older, you're starting to be like, well, maybe instead of believing this, I believe this, and I kind of want to explore this, and I kind of want to learn about this, or I've learned this, so now I want to teach this. You know what I mean? You said nug. What's nug? What's a nug? Oh, big time? Most definitely. Honestly, it's fun. I feel like it could be really fun. having like prominent Sagittarius energy. And I might be biased because, you know, generationally, I'm a North Node Sagittarius generation, but I think it just allows you to expand. It's like a seeker, you know. I like to think of myself being on a pirate ship, you know, and exploring the seas, you know, and traveling the world, and, you know, going to different places and eating different foods, and, you know, like I'm learning Spanish right now. Aprendo español, you know what I mean? Things like that. So most definitely. Let me see. Did anybody? Okay. Okay, yeah. So anyway, for those of y'all that are checking in or coming in, if you would like a personal reading, my Saturn return was 100. I'm sure it was. That Saturn. Wait, what was your Saturn return in? Pisces or Aquarius or Sagittarius? All I was saying, for those of y'all that's coming in, because I know people are coming in and out, if you would like a personal reading on live, I do have a link below. And it's donation based, and you can plug your information into the Candidly, and I will do a live reading for you here. It says, I watched a video on Sag North Node talking about the pirate ship, and that resonated. That's why I asked. You know what's funny? It's not funny, but it's interesting to see. The whole thing with the tariffs that are happening right now, and I can't go detail bar for bar. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius. Okay, yeah, we in the same generation for sure. I've been seeing like people make jokes about, I worked on cruises, and I loved being able to learn about different people's backgrounds. Oh, that sounds so dope. That sounds super, super dope. That's definitely, that, Taylor, is definitely like a Sagittarius journey. Like that in itself is like a Sag journey. Like living life on the seas, you know, cruises bring in people from all over the world, you know, from all walks of life and things like that. You're just learning, and you don't really have a destination. Like, especially if you do have heavy prominent Sagittarius energy, a lot of times you'll see somebody who lives in multiple places at once. So like maybe for 6 months you're here. You said, I'm in Canada too, ready to hear about the tariffs. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. And you know, this is something I was trying to keep to myself, because I really do be talking about this, you know what I'm saying? Cruises and cruise. Yeah, no, for real. Cruising on the cruise ship. Crew on the cruise ship. Cruise on the cruise ship. What was I saying? The tariffs. So everything that's happening with the tariffs, you know, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think, you know, I'm gonna start off with this first, because before I get into like the pirate ships and stuff, and like sovereignty, right, as we talked about before. What up, Ty? What's good, Ty? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Definitely check in with me and let me know how y'all feeling, how y'all doing, and stuff like that. Also, as I'm talking, if you have any questions about like your personal chart, transits, whatever the case may be, please let me know, because, you know, we got about an hour to kick it, and I'm here definitely to answer any kind of type of questions that you have. Let me think. Tariffs. So I think it's interesting because we know we're learning how the media is working in cahoots together. We know that a lot of these politicians and these different countries and things like that, and the governments work together to bring this. And again, if we want to, I'm not going to go too deep back into, you know, the history of Neptune and Saturn and Aries, specifically Saturn and Aries, but that was during the Great Depression. And we're out of Mercury retrograde, okay? Enough, Pisces, enough. Anyway, it's interesting to me because in this time of the last Saturn and Aries transit, there was also tariffs that were happening and being placed on, you know, different countries and goods and items and services and things like that were also happening in that time as well too. So we're gonna see another resurgence of this energy. So what we're going to see, and the things that I've been seeing as I've been having these conversations and now seeing it in full, of pirate ships And people joking about, oh, now we're going to have to be pirates in order to get our packages. Like now we're going to have to, you know, piracy is back. Like now people are talking about like being, you know, sailing on the water and boats and things like that in order to trade goods, to trade, you know, go and get their packages and all this. And it's a joke per se, but honestly, y'all, I'm gonna say this. I believe, especially when they ban or when they put like licenses and when they put like a whole bunch of, you know, regulations on the water. I mean, it's regulated everywhere. The way we drive, the way, you know, who can fly what, you know, aircraft, who can, you know, ride in the waters and sail the seas, and where you can go and where you cannot go. These things have all been regulated, so we're not able to be explorers in these ways, or we're not able to go and reach these different lands and things like that. So when we're talking about the energy of Sagittarius, okay, and also not only that, but we do have the North Node in Pisces, right, transiting at this time. When we're talking about Pisces, we're talking about the water, you know, we're talking about, in a sense, I would even say travel, because we do have Uranus going into Gemini. We're going to see more people traveling by water at this time. You know, even I know Aquarius is an air sign per se. You know, when we look at the archetype of Aquarius, it is the water. Hold on, let me see. It is the water bearer, I should say. So we'll see a lot more people traveling or making crafts. You know, it's always been a dream of mine, you know, to, you know, live by a port, you know, be able to like build a boat, you know, and travel from place to place. I used to want to do it on a bus, you know. Oh, my candidly says not valid. Why does it do that? So, Hold on one second. Let me change this real quick. And then I got you, Taylor. Hold on one second. Oof. My neck, my back, my neck and my back. Okay. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Okay. I gotta edit this real quick, because I always just copy and paste it. So what happens is it does not post the full link, and I'm sitting there like, oh dang. Hello, Ta. Let me see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, it should work now, Sean. Or Crew Sean. If you see it, it should work now. Okay, so how do you feel about charts that have planets aligned? How do you feel about charts that have planets aligned with the houses? For example, I have a 4th house Cancer Moon, 5th house Cancer Sun, and an 8th house Scorpio Mars. Do you feel like it's normal to see in charts? Oh, you must be going from Placidus then. You reading it from a Placidus chart? Try using whole signs. So when you pull up your birth chart, try to, yeah, that's what it is. I'm a Pisces rising too, Taylor. So, and I have this in my chart as well. Like sometimes if I do it by Placidus, I'll see it in the some of my planets in, you know, both houses. And honestly, if you want to, you can read from both houses if you like. Like I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I think it's more so, I feel like, one, what you resonate with, and also just seeing if that energy is also affecting you, depending on what house or what chart that you're using, right? Yeah, Todd. Well, dang, we got Pisces rising rolling deep in the building. What's good, y'all? What's happening? I don't really meet a lot of other Pisces rising, so when I do, I'm like, yeah. So, okay, I'm reading it again. How do you feel about it? Yeah, it's definitely Placidus. So tell me, so if you have whole signs, see how the whole sign will change, especially the 5th house. Because usually, so if you have whole sign, you'll see Cancer actually be in your 5th house. So your 4th house Cancer moon, depending on where it's at, well, pretty much your 4th house will be in the 5th house, or your 4th house Cancer moon will be in the 5th house. It's all Jupiter risings in the chat. Oh yeah, then Sagittarius rising. Hey Jupiter, what's up? What's cracking? Oh, Krushan, does the link work for you? Is it working for you? Now, I just want to make sure, because it's working for me, but I want to make sure it's working for y'all, just in case. If you would like to get your read on. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, so let me know what that looks like for you. Yeah, Cancer is in your 5th house. So you would be a Cancer, 5th house Cancer moon and a 5th house Cancer sun. Oh, so you all water, Taylor. You got what? Pisces rising, Cancer sun and moon? Blessed. Like Cancer sun and moon. Woo! How is that? Like, how is that for you? Like, what are your experiences being a Cancer sun and Cancer moon? Like, what? Yeah, I know. Can oh my. Cancer, oh my. Oh me, oh my. Can only pick April 9. That's fine. Yeah, you could do it, because I'll still see it on my end. It'll just pull up for me once you do. Yeah, I got you. It's a yikes. Not as a yikes. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely makes like a real intuitive person. I could, somebody who like picks up on literally everything. But I'm pretty sure you're probably also too creative as well, because I mean, you do have Cancer in the 5th house. So like when the emotion calls, you know what I mean? It can make for a saucy, even quite romantic, if I might add, big 3. And Pisces is naturally romantic. Pisces rising, Pisces energy in itself is naturally romantic. Then you have 5th house sun and moon. So, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Personally, to me, because I'm also a Cancer moon, and I do have Cancer moon in the 5th house. So, I feel like it kind of curves the moon a little bit. Like, it's the Leo house. So, like, that creative expression, that creative, energy, that zest that you have and stuff like that, I feel like it kind of curves the Cancer. Naturally, the Cancer moon in any other house, I feel like can kind of bring like that deep Cancerian pull to it, you know what I mean? But 5th house, I think, gives it a little bit of extra like oomph and sauce. But I guess it's validating to know that I am who I feel like I am, considering that I feel like Cancer, Pisces, wait, hold on 1 second. Mix my words. Considering that I feel like Pisces rising and Cancer suns get gaslit a lot. They do. Oh yeah, I'm gonna love a girl real bad. Honestly, yeah, nah. I feel like it, because we live in such a like masculine, I guess you could say, patriarchal. Taz Cancer sun. Cancer sun, Cancer rising. Okay, I got you, Krushan. I just see it on my timeline real quick. Let's see what we got for you. Yeah, so basically, if what was I saying? What was I saying? Let me bring it back. Oh, because we live in such like a masculine. Yeah, I got you. I'm putting your stuff in right now. A masculine world, or a world where sensitivity and emotions and vulnerability is seen as something that is bad, or you're super sensitivity and emotional and all that kind of stuff. I think that's where the gaslights comes in, because at the end of the day, we need that. I think, especially living in a world that doesn't feel, or living in a world that's so detached from the emotions, right? He said, I entered the first date in the year. Let me see. Oh, I got you. Oh, you're a 92, baby, too? What's good? 92 in the house? What's poppin'? 92 in the house? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I might be biased, but it ain't nobody touching us. Ain't nobody touching us for real. You know what I mean? Nobody. Absolutely nobody touching 92 babies. All right. Let me see. What we have here. 12:09 p.m. Wait. Let me see. 12:09. Okay. Let me see. Crew from 92, what's up? We in the house. Okay. Canada. Okay, let me see. Wait. I'm trying to see how you spell it. I agree. I say a lot of water signs are hated so much because we live in a patriarchal world. Oh yeah, most definitely. And people view emotions as a weakness. You said you was already off the porch. Todd, get out of here with all that. Listen, we spring chickens in this mug. You know what I'm saying? We spring chickens. You know what I mean? I feel like 92 was like when everything just shifted, everything changed, you know what I mean? Like people are still stuck in the 90s, specifically 92. Like that was the birth. I feel like that was like the birthing. I don't know why British Columbia. I'm like, why is this not coming up? Wait. Am I tripping? British. Okay. Okay, is the place you were born called? Okay, I see Vancouver, cause I'm like, wait, what? You now the 99 babies, y'all wild. Y'all some wild children. By that time, I was dropping it low to that 99, 2000s. At that time, at that point, I was dropping it like it was hot, okay? Let me see what we got for you. Let's see what we got for you. Okay, let's go ahead and read this off for Krushan. We have Libra Sun. We have Uranus. Let me see. Also, Uranus is connected to the Sun as well. That's very interesting, especially even for Libra. Moon in Libra. Sagittarius rising with part of fortune. And then we have 3 stelliums. We have a stellium in Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. The energy of Virgo is South Node in Virgo, Black Moon, Lilith in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo. Do you sleep? Do you rest? Like, whoa, all in the 10th house with the MC on top of that. So, first and foremost, I want to say, especially as we're going through, like, listen, baby, we are going through the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces, okay? It's time for you to rest, Krushan. It's time for you to rest. Yes, Libra Moon. Is that off? Is your chart off? Libra Moon? Sagittarius Moon. Let me see. October 1st, 1992. Oh, I'm sorry. I got 1970. My bad. I'm like, whoa. Okay, I got you. Okay, now we hit this sound. Okay, so no, you don't have the stellium. In the 1970s, you would have had the stellium though. But you still do have Jupiter in Virgo in the 10th house. But your stellium moves from Virgo, and now your stellium is in Aquarius in the 3rd house. Okay, so you have Saturn in Aquarius, Black Moon, Lilith in Aquarius, and part of fortune here in the 3rd house. MC and Jupiter in Virgo, Mars in Cancer, Chiron in Leo, Moon North Node in the 1st house. Of course, with 92, Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn. So let me see what we have here. First and foremost, I will say this. Okay, so let's just start with the North Node and South Node first and foremost, because I do see that your IC is here. You don't have any planets here per se, but your IC is here. I feel like there's going to be more attention to home, and during this transit, we just transited into the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo in January. And so I feel like there could be some, like, maybe you spending more time at home, because this access specifically with Pisces and Virgo is very much so centered on like kind of going inward. You know, it's very internal. It's not to say that you won't be out. It's not to say that you won't be like, you know, out and about and things like that, but it's more so introspection. There could be a lot of things coming up, especially in regards to like your childhood, the way you grew up, your roots, your family, your home. This could also indicate, especially with Uranus about to go into Gemini, and it'll be hitting your angular houses, so you could be moving as well too during this transit. Or if you're not moving, there could be some changes to the home, like your internal home. So either you're building on your home, or maybe you're changing things up in your home space area that you're in. But there's definitely going to be some changes here regardless in the physical home, and also internal home. 4th house is not just like the place that you live, but it's like what is actually going on inside of you. And Pisces is a very spiritual, it's very divine, it's very you know, there's an upper echelon energy that I like to say with Piscean energy. You can feel like wanting to connect more with like your spiritual team, wanting to connect more to your spiritual home or your spiritual family. You could even feel like you're being called to a spiritual home or a family. Beware of cults, like I always say. Beware of cults, okay, in this place. But you might be finding maybe like, you know, healers, or maybe getting, I would say meeting other healers, or meeting people who have like, are connected to spiritual gifts. You could be finding that you have, or developing maybe spiritual gifts and things like that that maybe once resonated with you in maybe even a past incarnation or a past life as well. Also, I am seeing that you are like 1 degree Sagittarius. So you're just coming into this Sagittarius energy in this life. So this is fresh. You know, the first degree is the Aries degree, and it's fresh, it's new, it's you know, and I like to say a whole new world, you know, that kind of energy with, you know, the ascendant being the 1st house, or the ascendant being at 1 degree of this energy here. Now I will say this, because your ascendant is, you said, oh yeah, it's brand new, hit me in 2021, flipped upside down. Yeah, I can imagine, especially with Saturn and Aquarius. It's your Saturn and Aquarius is actually, let me see. Your Saturn and Aquarius is connected to your Venus. Venus in Scorpio in the 12th house. Okay. Well, 12th house has to do with your subconscious. It has to do with your past lives, your past life incarnation. You said Uranus is transiting the 4th house right now. That's what's changing home. No, Uranus is going to be changing transiting your 7th house. So it's going to be eventually. Right now we're in Taurus territory right now. But when we get into Uranus in Gemini, that is going to be around July. Around July is when we're going to see Uranus in Gemini. A lot of times, because it's Mercury ruled, it has to do with movement. And because it's in the 7th house, this can be like a job opportunity. This can be like a relationship, you know. It can be causing this coming out of a series of relationship with Aquarius women, and I just met another one. I'm wondering if it's time to end the pattern. Well, honestly, this feels like, especially because, like I said, it's a past life connection or past life energy, because your Venus is connected to your Saturn in Aquarius. It's so funny how astrology works. Your Venus is connected to Saturn in Aquarius. It's actually squaring your Venus is squaring your Saturn Aquarius energy so this feels karmic, past life energy, past life karma being cleared here. I feel like this is more so like this could be meeting people, because you do have Black Moon Lilith here as well. This could be meeting people that are maybe challenging you to maybe think outside the box, live outside the box. You said only one way to clear is to go through. Exactly. They could be teaching you how to kind of have like Aquarius energy is very, I like to talk about the unconventional aspects of Aquarius. I like to talk about the, just kind of energy that's not necessarily, it's never duplicated, right? Kind of energy here, Okay, Ty, I got you. I definitely got you. What is it called? What's the saying when they say something never duplicated? Not vindicated. Something never duplicated. It doesn't follow any types of trends. Aquarius energy is just kind of its own. It kind of is like, if everybody in the room doesn't agree, if everybody in the room has a whole different opinion. And I'll say this. I'm not saying that Aquarius energy, sometimes Aquarius energy on this, I guess, rebellious streak can just be wanting to go against the group for the sake of going against the group. But there's another side of Aquarius that really believes in what it believes, and it doesn't care if the group or the room agrees. It just stands on that. It stands on business, okay? And I think a lot of times when, we're kind of going into like the Libra Sun territory, and also Mercury in Libra, especially being in the 11th house, this is the Aquarius house of like friendships, groups, associations, organizations. This has to do with like your bigger goals and aspirations and things like that. A lot of times you can see somebody who can succumb to other people, their ideals, their beliefs, what everybody else feels. A lot of times it could go with the group. Libra wants to be in harmony with everybody, but sometimes it wants to be in harmony. It wants to be in harmony to the detriment of itself, to the detriment of, how they actually feel. So there could be like pent up resentment that forms. There could be like, kind of like, well, I guess I'm going to do this because the group wants me to do this, or everybody else wants me to do this, but it's not actually what I want to do. So I think the energy of Sagittarius, especially with Moon here, North Node here, also this energy of Aquarius, Saturn Aquarius, is literally teaching you how to stand on your own 2 feet, especially when it comes to the things that you believe in and what it is that you about, okay? So if you're going to be about that life, okay? If you're going to be about that life and feel how you feel and do what you do, this energy is teaching you how to do so, You do have Pluto also in your 12th house in Scorpio. It's home here. Let me see what it is connected to actually. Anytime I see Venus in Scorpio, my BM have 6 planets in 11th and 4 of them is in Aquarius. You said 6 planets in Aquarius? Wait. Let me read that again. She's narcissistic for real, sadly. My baby mom has 6 planets in 11th and 4 of them is in Aquarius. God, dog, that's a lot of 6th house planets there. Or is in Aquarius? Yeah, that's a lot of planets. Sun square Pluto in the 7th house, conjunct North Node in Scorpio. Whew. Yeah, anytime I see it, ooh. Pluto, you know how I feel about that Pluto in Scorpio, or Pluto just in general in the angular houses. I feel like it can be a little treacherous and In some parts of life, it can be a little, it could be a lot. But also subconsciously, I think it's a lot to just sitting, especially in Scorpio, in its home, like sitting in that sign. You can see somebody that has like deep, especially with Pluto and Scorpio, in the 12th house, you can find somebody who can go through like deep depressive states, like deep, like really dark thoughts, or dark, you know, like 1 minute you're good and the next minute you're like really, and it can even get into like paranoia, you know, like you know, maybe you even start to question a lot of things and people around you, you know, and there can be even like betrayals, there can be jealousy as well with Pluto in Scorpio here as well too, you know, with the people, others, they can be like, you know, because naturally Pluto and Scorpio is really strong when it comes to power. Like naturally you can like pull this energy to you. You have it in you, but you naturally like, there's a magneticism that comes with Pluto and Scorpio that can naturally pull things to you. So anything that your mind is like consistently focused on with Pluto in the 12th house, man, I can imagine, Krushan, and you could tell me, let me know if this is true, but anything that you like wholeheartedly and completely like focus your mental on, you can notice that it'll subtly pop up in your like immediate reality. This is where you can also see, especially because 12th house rules dreams, with Pluto and Scorpio here, you can see somebody who has sometimes even very violent dreams, like very like, or like even scary dreams, you know. This can also be somebody who can, you know, you say, yeah, I'm learning, I need to fully believe it. What exactly fully believe in is, are you talking about your dreams? Or, oh, what your mind, your mental attracts? Definitely, very, very violent. A lot of deaths. Another thing is, people can be coming to you, ancestors and things like that can be coming to you also in your dreams as well too, or people who have passed over or passed on. I always say this with Pluto and Scorpio, or just Scorpio, like heavy Scorpio energy of like talking to the dead, communicating with the dead, speaking to the dead, speaking to people who have passed over, whether that's in your own family lineage or that's another family lineage, believed to attract, most definitely. Family secrets as well, right? Hidden family secrets. And why do I say family secrets? Well, 12th house usually has to do with your roots as well, you know, your past lives as well. So this could be familial secrets, or maybe secrets that you've had in a past life as well too. I've been thinking there was a lot of killing in past lives, always violent dreams, most definitely. This can also indicate a death as well. Like Pluto can also indicate, you know, because it's Martian, you know, especially with Scorpio energy, it's a Martian energy here. It has to do with like sharp objects. It has to do with, it's ruled by Mars when I say Martian. So this has to do with like aggression. This has to do with anger. This has to do with, I know you're probably thinking like, dang, I don't know. Synced. What up, Synced? How you doing, boo? It says, what about MC and Scorpio conjunct Mars and Scorpio on the 10th? If you would like a reading, please, there's a link below so I can get to you. I'm about to do Ta next, and then I can do you after that, Synced. But I can definitely get to you. It's the link down below in the description box. If you want to, I can definitely read your chart as well too. Hey, boo, how you doing? So yeah, violent dreams. And they're donation based as well too. So whatever question you have, please let me know, because I love talking about this stuff. But also too, this can indicate like a warrior as well, a warrior like kind of energy here. He said, no, I'll wait, they can go. Okay, I got you, Ty. People who have fought in wars, people who have, you know, listen, also, you know, one thing I also leave out as well, you said my throat felt weird with a tight shirt or necklace on the neck, like a throat cut or something. Well, I would say maybe even, ooh, like now that I'm thinking about that, like a slit or a slit to the throat. And I'm trying to think of like the body parts now, because Aries rules the head, Taurus is the throat. So, you know, could be, because I mean, it's opposing your sixth house in Taurus, and Taurus has to do with the throat chakra, to speak, to talk. And you know what's interesting is you do have Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius, right? And so you could see someone who maybe, if you were, where's your Mercury? Where's your Mercury? It's in Libra. A lot of times Mercury in Libra is an energy, especially with the 11th house. Usually you can see somebody who is like a social justice warrior, you know, or if it's not a social justice, somebody who is like an activist, you know, or things like that, or, you know, speaking up for the rights of women and children, usually with Libra, but just speaking up for the rights of all, because Libra has to do with like justice and, you know, balancing the scales and things like that. And with, I say this to say, you have your Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius that is trining over, which means, like when we say trine, working together with your South Node in Gemini, in the 7th house of intimate relationships, connections. This has to do with marriages. This has to do with contractual agreements and just intimate connections and relationships that you have. Aquarius is the rebel. So you could see somebody who's like, was speaking out. I was like, no, this is not this, you know, even like people who are like a missionary or something like that. It doesn't have to be a missionary per se, but like travels to different places and speaks on like the injustices that are going on, or is like an activist or anything that was speaking on the injustice and things that were going on in these different places. And somebody was like, silence. Like, now we don't need you to be talking. You know what I mean? What do you see the connection on Jupiter? What do you see in the connection on Jupiter on, wait a minute, what do you see the connection on Jupiter, MC, and career is in Virgo, Mercury, and Libra? Any tips on that? Honestly, it could be a couple of things. And then after this, I'm going to go ahead and go to Synced after this. But I can see a couple of things with Jupiter, MC, and things. I would say this, Sagittarius, I know the MC is in Virgo, but it's even though it's Earth, there's still, it's mutable, so it's changeable, right? How do you feel about an empty 7th house? I've heard empty houses are important, but my love life is saying differently. I don't find it a coincidence. I'm gonna get right to you, Taylor. I'm about to wrap this up, and then I'm gonna go to Syncs, and then I got you. I'm gonna round this up for y'all, and answer your questions. What was I saying? Oh, mutability is what I was talking about. You'll notice that with Sagittarius, this Jupiterian energy that you have, Jupiter and Virgo, you might switch what it is that you're doing a couple times in your life. You know, mutability needs variety, okay? Like you crave variety, you need variety. Like it gives you this sense of, it gives you this sense of challenge. If you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, it probably is gonna make you feel a little bit like, oh, no problem, Taylor. It'll probably make you feel a little bored, you know? So I could say just like a round off, maybe career things, anything that has to do with like teaching, especially with Virgo, it has to do with anything that has to do with, this can where you can see any type of doctors. This is where you can see herbalists. This is where you can see teachers, making amazing, great teachers. But you need freedom. You need variety, okay? If you feel like, you don't want to feel like locked into any one in any type of thing. You just need the freedom and the space. So I would say, really get down to your interests with this energy here, with this MC, Jupiter and Virgo, and then having like all the Sagittarius energy. Like, what are you actually really truly interested in? Like when you talk about this thing, you're passionate about it, you have this fire about it, you can go and talk about it all day, okay? You know what I mean? Whether that's astrology, you know, whether this is like, I don't know, some type of spiritual, you know, interest that you have, things like that. Something that I would say, whatever that you are in, it's going to be something that is going to be challenging your brain. It's going to be something that's challenging your mind. It's going to be something that allows you to grow. whatever it is, mixed with whatever it is that you're passionate about. So you can make and turn your passion into something that you're doing long term. Or I'm not to say long term, this is something that you can do for the long haul. You know what I mean? Something that you can always come back to if you want to. You can switch it up, whatever the case may be. But I would definitely say start with something that you are passionate with first, because anything else that you're doing just for money or just for material gains, whatever, it's gonna fall to the wayside. Okay, so choose something that allows you to have freedom. Jupiter and Virgo, I would definitely say something that allows you to also, even though I know you have the Sagittarius energy, focus in on the details of something, but also allows you to see the bigger picture. So this is service based as well too. Any type of service based relating things where you are teaching through experience. You know, for example, maybe you do have a garden or you're gardening or things like that. And as you're learning about the garden, you're teaching people how to garden, you know. This is where you can see people who are in like, you know, personal trainers. You know, you can see people who are in, you know, the military. You can see people who are in nurses and doctors. Anything that, like I said, has to do with service to others and people and helping them in some way, shape, or form. You also have Mars in Cancer as well too. So this can also have to do with children as well, or healing people's inner child, all those good things. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on though to, who do we have up next? Let me see. But that's what I have for you. I hope that that's helped you, Krushan. If you would like a personal, like a longer personal reading, that link is also in the below. Or I don't think it is in the below box, but if you would like to, I'm trying to say, my Candidly link without all the extra is also there too if you need a longer or looking for a longer reading and things like that. Synced, I don't know if you're still here, but if you would like, I don't know if I said this, I know I keep sounding redundant, but if you would like a personal reading, that link is also down below as well too. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Ta. And then I'll do the next. Hold on, let me see. Let me see as well. Okay. I got you. Most definitely. I got you. Let me see. One's here too. What is he? July. Oh, you coming up, Ty? Oh, no wonder you was talking about us 92 kids. Yeah. I see you was off the bench. Okay. Oh, Ty, what can you clarify your time for me? Is it 1:21 a.m.? Your time of birth? Because I see it says 00:12:21 a.m. Okay, got you. Oh, you was in a wee, well, not the wee hours in the morning, but you were late, baby. Let me see. Orange, New Jersey. Okay. Let's see what we got for you. Another fellow Pisces rising. Rise up. Okay, let me see. What I got for you. Okay, let me see. Okay, so we're doing a general. Okay, so Pisces rising in the South Node. Let me see. Oh, we got a stellium in Virgo. We have Vertex, Moon, North Node, and we also have Saturn as well in Virgo. We have Mercury in Leo, Jupiter in Leo, Mars in Gemini, Venus in Gemini, Sun in Cancer, Chiron in Taurus, Neptune in Scorpio, Uranus in Scorpio, Neptune in Sagittarius, and part of fortune in Capricorn. Well, first and foremost, we're gonna go ahead and, you already know, we got to start with that South Node in Scorpio, or South Node transit in Virgo, and the North Node in Pisces. Especially with Moon here. Let me see what it's connected to. Ooh, it's connected to the Mars in Gemini. Ooh, okay. Well, relationships is on the forefront this year. You and other people in relationships, Ty, is on the forefront this year. Now, we do have the South Node, so you're going through your reversal node of return, which I always say, anytime you're going through your reversal node of return, really pay attention to what's happening this year, because it's going to help you when you have your actual node of return, right? Your actual, where it's lined up with the collective energy that we're going through, which you usually have during, like, when you're, like 35, 34, 35, and then you have another one after that. You have about, I think, 2 or 3 reversal, or if you get to 4, probably a little bit older, but you know. So basically what we see here is, with, especially with Moon, North Node, and Saturn, anywhere Saturn is, which you have Saturn in Virgo, anywhere Saturn is in your chart usually comes with older age, usually comes when you get older. So in the younger years, you probably might have struggled a little bit, a lot of it, when it comes to your relationships with you and other people. The boundaries, all right, between you and other people might have been crossed, especially at a young age. This is something that you are learning in this lifetime. You know, Virgo teaches you, especially in the 7th house, about discernment. It teaches you about how to, you know, we look at Virgo as the harvest, you know, and when you getting ready for, you know, going from the summer into the fall, you have to check the good apples and you have to check the bad apples. And when you have Pisces in the 1st house, you say, yes, my relationships were trash, family, romance, and friends. Yeah, and you also have Mars in Gemini, so it's squaring over to your, it's squaring over to your ascendant, which is at the 29th degree. I got you synced, I see you. It's squaring over to your Mars in Gemini at the 29th degree. And it's also connected to, so it could be a lot of fights. It could be a lot of, like, arguments, a lot of, like, uproar when it comes to you and other people. And this is something, like I said, that you're learning here. You could have even ran into relationships that could be a little bit, a little nitpicky, right? Like, just kind of, you know, maybe pointing out all these different aspects of you, from, like, you know, people that, you know, thinking like, oh, you're, you know, the flaws, and like, oh, this isn't good enough, and maybe you need to do it like this instead of this. So you could have had a lot of people, specifically Moon is here, so this could have been like a mother figure, this could have been a grandmother figure, or just women. And it maybe, I would say, had to do a lot of your, yes, I had to learn a lot about myself too, definitely. So it has to do with a lot of your emotional state. There is a need to, maybe it was like a need to, or like a perfectionist kind of energy, especially when it comes into your relationship house here. Now, don't get me wrong, there can be a lot of service when it comes to, because 7th house usually has to do also too with other people. So you could have even had people who were like natural healers in your family, or just close relationships, being connected to people who are like healers or do some type of like service-based work. You know, you could have had people in your family who were like doctors, lawyers, spiritualists in some way, either two, people who, and I say this to say, I know we're not talking necessarily about like Venus or, you know, Jupiter and things, but Moon has to do with like past. So things that have happened in the past. It has to do with your roots, also to family, home, and things like that. So you could see that as well here too. So just a lot of lessons of that. And also when it comes to you like expressing yourself. I mean, you have Black Moon Lilith at the 29th degree of Leo, but you also have Jupiter in Leo. You have Mercury in Leo as well too. And I feel like there's oftentimes this like contrast of, or I would say, I think what happens a lot of times when you're surrounded by people, especially when it comes to like your intimate relationships, where they're like kind of like doing one of these numbers on you, you know what I mean? Like kind of picking out all these things, and they're like, oh no, you're this, and no, you're that. Like to me, it feels like self-defining, or people trying to define you, or people trying to basically tell you who you are, or I don't know. It just feels like this sense of identity for you was maybe projected, especially because you have South Node on your first house, which is very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen, well, maybe a couple of times I've seen it, but not for Pisces in general. You could have just had people who are like telling you about you, and so maybe you've been conditioned to conform into or shape shift. You know, Pisces is a shapeshifter, shape shift into what people have told you how to be and who to be. So you're learning this. Yes, I was a shapeshifter for a long time, most definitely. So you're learning how to, you know, really stand in your own 2 feet, really express yourself. That's why you have Black Moon Lilith in Leo. That's why you have Jupiter in Leo. That's why you have Mercury in Leo. You also have this energy, Black Moon Lilith, connected to your MC, you know, in Sagittarius. So it's teaching you how to have this freedom of expression. You know, you need to be loud. You need to be rambunctious. You need to be dramatic. You know, you need to, like, I don't know, stand on top of the soapbox and say what it is you gotta say, okay? You can feel like sometimes you when you want to speak, because you do have Mars and Gemini sextile your Mercury and Leo, when you do get going and you are expressing yourself and you are kind of like, no, and I feel like this, and I feel like this, and I feel like that, and you know, you feel like this, whatever the case may be, like when you get into like those different types of spells and stuff, that is when you are most comfortable. That's when you are most at home, where you're just allowing yourself with no bounds to be in the fullness of your expression. You know, you also have Sun in Cancer, you know. You said, I got sick of holding my true expression. Like, you know, and we're meant to express. I think a lot of times when we hold back our, you know, creative expression, and also just how we're communicating and things like that, it starts to, you know, kind of shuffle into like a disease, if you will. And when I say disease, I don't mean like, I mean, it could actually shuffle into a physical disease, but, you know, diseases usually are essentially the things that we're suppressing. Our body responds to the things that we're suppressing. And because I see Black Moon Lilith here, this can be like, first thing I heard is the heart. So like having like heart, you can either have like heart issues or back issues, because Leo rules the heart and it also rules the back, like the spine. So, you know, with Black Moon Lilith here, there's could been like a, and it doesn't have to be like severe, like a severe kind of like heart things and stuff. Yeah, you said that's what it did. I got physically sick. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Like I'm feeling somebody who's like, even like a regular heart, like I don't know why that's coming up, like a regular heart condition. I don't know. It's something with something that pertains to the heart. Whatever was affecting the heart started to affect everything else. And Leo is about the heart. It's the truest expression of the soul, and it's the truest expression of the heart, right? And when you're not doing those things and you're not expressing yourself, it starts to feed and eat into your physical body. And so you could become physically sick. So you have the sun supporting you. You know, you have your sun in the 5th house, the Leo house of creativity. It has to do with children. It has to do with expression, risk-taking, gambling, romantic relationships, flirtation, you know? And now it's asking you to express that. I'm actually interested to see for you, Tal, when Jupiter goes into Cancer in in June, when it goes from Gemini. And probably while we have this Jupiter and Gemini transit, all this stuff is coming up for you, right? Like this Jupiter energy is like bringing this out, you know, of you, of like the roots, the family, the home, you know, you have Venus and Gemini here, your relationships, especially what has to do with the mother, or your relationships to women, because Venus usually has to do with relationships with divine feminine or women. And this can be like, okay, well, how can I express myself now? You know, and what is it that I'm passionate about? What is it the things that I'm interested in now, versus what I was back then? You know, and Jupiter in Cancer is going to support you in that. You might feel very creative when Jupiter goes in here. He said, I'm happy about Jupiter and Gemini and Cancer. Yes, it's gonna, honestly, I feel like, you know, because I always think of Jupiter, or I think of Cancer as like the child, even though it can be children, like birthing children or having children. This can be like creative project seeding. This can be like even feeling like a kid again, you know, like feeling like a child again, feeling like just having that, I don't always say that, feeling like a brand new person. Because I don't care, I'm in love. You know, you could start listening. I don't know, I'm just seeing somebody like blasting like music that they used to listen to a long time ago, and just like in a room like, you know, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like dancing and moving and shaking and grooving it, like feeling that energy again, feeling that even though Cancer is not necessarily heat per se, but just feeling that fire, that passion that is you, of Cancer being Sun and Cancer being in the 5th house for sure. Lit as shit. I've been down for 4 years. Well, I feel like this is going to be a change. It's going to be a turnaround here. And I think what I would ask you to do, Ty, especially in this time, is not allow yourself to be inhibited by the ideals or even like societal, like the societal mental, I would say like mental things that are holding you down or holding you back. Like allow yourself to be uninhibited, you know? And I think that's another word for it. Like allow yourself to be free, you know? Like that raw form of creative expression, you know? And whatever that may be for you, you know? I feel like, especially because we do have Black Moon Lilith going through Scorpio until December this year, is going to be hitting and meeting up with your Uranus and very, very primal. I feel like that's why I'm kind of jumping to like this Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio. You can start to feel, I'm not gonna lie, honestly, you could feel very sexual, and there's nothing wrong with feeling sexual. I think that this inner sexuality is going to start to play deeper. It's moving through the 9th house, so your belief systems about how, like, your sexuality, and sexuality, y'all, just want to let y'all know, it's not just about sex. It's a conduit of sex, right? So sex in itself is a form of creativity. You know, when you're co-creating with you and yourself, co-creating with you and another person, or co-creating with you, yourself, and the universe. And so you could just feel this like rawness to you. You know, you also have Chiron in Taurus. We were just talking about that throat chakra, okay? It's in the 3rd house of communication, writing, speaking, traveling, short distance traveling. It has to do with your uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins, all of these things, right? And so you could just feel yourself starting to speak different, move different, walk different, talk different, dress different, okay? You could just, you know, and allow it to come up. Allow yourself, allow your physical body, allow your being to shift, allow your physical being to change. You know, anytime Uranus touches whatever it touches, I know Scorpio's a little fixed. Whatever Uranus touches, it wants you to do something completely unconventional, okay? Completely new. You might feel like you're going through this rebirth of yourself, this rebirth of your beliefs, your ideals. You're so spot on, really. Like, this is the time. So just, I say this to say, and I'm going to conclude it after this, and then we'll go to synced. Allow that rawness to, and I'm gonna say this, you might feel like you're having an out-of-body experience. And why you feel like you're having this out-of-body experience? Because it's something that you might have suppressed in the past, and now it's on the table for you to be able to express. So if it feels uncomfortable, and take it with a grain of salt, because I'm not telling you to do anything that is so uncomfortable that it's harmful. I mean that if it feels uncomfortable, I feel like that is your sure sign to do it. If it feels like it's it's off, or it's kind of like otherworldly, kind of off, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know, I don't know, I kind of want to get back, I want to get into this, or I want to kind of do this and whatever. Allow it, just to see where it goes. Just see it like a, I don't know why I'm getting like a charcuterie board. What is it called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Damn charcuterie board. You know what I'm saying? Where you trying the different cheeses, the different crackers, the different, you know what I mean? Yes, I did, because my sexual trauma as a child and my family was very strict. Okay, there it is. So reclaiming your body in the space of sexuality. And that's why I think I'm picking up a feeling really uncomfortable about those things. Very uncomfortable about those things. So now, with that, you're reclaiming it and actually using it for your proudness or your power, you know? So that's what I feel for you, Ta. That's what I'm getting for you, especially. Yeah. And I'm excited, for your journey and to see what it is that comes of it. I know you're going to be coming to the lives in the future and things and stuff, but I'm very, very curious to see how Jupiter in Cancer is going to be like ushering this new said energy in, for sure. But thank you, Ta. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. And I hope that this reading resonated with you. Motherfucking board of snacks. I can't. No, it is. The goddamn board of snacks. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hell. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That charcuterie board. I don't know what it's called. Hell. Okay. Okay, let me see what you guys synced. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. Excited for you. Okay, let me see what you got. Wait a minute. Yo, this is crazy. You and Synced, Krushan and Synced, y'all both have the same, like literally the same exact birthday. It's actually kind of creepy. The only difference is one is 95, the other one's 92. I was like, am I looking at the same thing? I just read for Krushan Synced, and Synced has the same birthday as you, October 1st. I'm like, what? So we got Jupiter risings in the building, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Same birthdays. I'm like, what is going on today? It's crazy. Oh, let me see what you read for Krushan. Let me see. Good reading, intense moment. Side note, just pulled up astrocartography. I got Saturn, Pluto, and Chiron going through Libra. And we were just talking about that, what it sounds like, past life trauma. Most definitely. Where, if you don't mind sharing, what region is it in? Like, where is it at? Oh, are you talking about where you at right now? And also, Taylor, if you're still here, how do I feel about an empty 7th house? I've heard empty houses are important, but my love life is saying differently. Okay, y'all, before I get to Synced, I swear I'm going to get to you Synced right now. I'm putting your information in as we speak. I know that empty houses can seem like, oh, well, there's nothing really going on there. But what is actually aspecting that house? Okay? Like, for example, the reading that I just pulled up, they didn't have anything in what is it? I forget because I was just not looking at it. For one that I did, basically you can have nothing. For example, let's say somebody has a 6th house in Taurus and they have nothing in Taurus. They have no planets in Taurus. It's just an empty house. But then they have all this energy from their 12th house that's opposing that house, then, it's still going to be activated. Now there might not necessarily be a for sure central focus there, but see, Taylor, what is aspecting that particular house, because it's going to give you a little bit more of like the storyboard here, you know what I mean? Libya through Central Africa. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's definitely karmic as hell, especially if you have all those planets going through there, for sure. Okay, let me see what's going on with things real quick, y'all, and we gonna get to it. But yeah, look to see if you have an empty house somewhere. See if there's anything aspecting that particular house, because it's definitely gonna give you more of a storyline based off of what's happening in that particular place in your chart. Central, meaning the lines are running down the center of every continent, the entire continent. Yeah, if you look, and also I want to say too that your lines don't necessarily, especially in astrocartography, locational astrology, your lines do not have to be running straight through a place. Like, it can be like in the radius of that place. You can still, I feel like the stronger or closer it is to that place, maybe the more extensive that energy is, but you can still feel it even if it's off to the side just a little bit. You know what I mean? Let me see. Okay, okay. Un momento. Okay. Claro que sí. Okay. So, let's go ahead and read off what we have for synced. Let me see. Did you have any questions? General reading? Okay. Okay, so for synced, welcome in. For those of you that are checking in, if you would like a personal reading, they're donation based. The link down below, my Venmo Cashapp, if you have it down there, and also the link is the Candidly if you would like a personal reading. I'm doing donation based, so I'll probably do maybe one more after synced if you're interested, and then I will wrap up because I have been on here for a little minute. Okay. So, whoa, Capricorn rising. You have Capricorn rising, but you also have Moon, Uranus, and Neptune. He said, I'm about to log off. Thanks again, boo. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much, Todd, for coming through. I hope you have a good one, boo. Good to see you. What I say? Neptune, Uranus, and Moon on the ascendant. You also have a stellium in Libra in the 10th house. You have North Node, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Chiron, and Libra in the 10th house. Oh, Melly, what in the world is going on here, Saints? We're going to talk about it. I'm pretty sure that when the South Node was going through Libra last year, and the North Node was going through Aries, I'm pretty sure there was a whirlwind going through that 4th house of home and your 10th house of, like, you know, public fear. We say career, but like life purpose, mission, and things like that. Wow, that's a lot. And it's also doing all these squares over to Capricorn, and we're gonna talk about it because it's the first thing that I see. It's the most that I see. The first thing that I see. Well, a lot of times that we see, I would say South Node in Aries, especially in the 4th house. I definitely could see somebody who, especially in a past life, because we're talking about South Node here, usually somebody who was independent, very, very independent. Somebody who, you know, and also on top of that, you have, you know, your Moon is in Capricorn as well too. We talk about past life as well here too. So mother, this is where you see mama, mother, women in your family, roots, things like that. Very hard workers, people who worked very, very hard. Sometimes, let me see where Taurus is. Usually like the resources. Let me see, where is Venus? Yeah, sometimes you'll see a lot of people who work really hard for the things that they have. Very ambitious, very, I'm talking about Capricorn rising here, but also Moon being here as well. Just coming from somebody who worked very hard and sometimes even worked alone, because you do have this energy is squaring over to your South Node in Aries. It's like, no, I'm gonna get it done. You know, I don't really need too many people And I don't really want too many people around in my, you know, my camp going on. So I got to get it done. Or just being people in situations being forced to do it on their own. So this could be somebody who, I don't know, for example, maybe lost like maybe if they didn't physically lose like a family member or something like that, this could just be somebody like maybe a family member who was either distant, or basically you had to take responsibility at a very young age, especially with Moon on the first house, specifically even in Capricorn. This is somebody who had to take responsibility. Like they, you know, first house is like when you come out the womb. I'm hearing stuff now. You trying to get out, Papa? Hold on 1 second, boo. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Come here, Papi. Come here. Come here. That's how I eat. I didn't know he was in here sleeping. He's all in here sleeping by himself. Okay, so basically you could see somebody who, first house has to do, is the Aries house. It's your place of like identity. It's who you are. It's how you present yourself to the world. We also like to think of this as like when you first come out of the womb, you know, you enter the first house as well here. And honestly, I would even say with Capricorn here, you probably could have even, mother could have had like maybe even a very, I don't know why I'm getting the word auspicious. I don't know why I'm getting the word auspicious, but a very interesting pregnancy here with Moon here. Like the way either in which you were conceived. Yes, mama, hold on. The way that the way in which you were conceived, or even your birth was a very interesting, we'll say, way of which you came out. But that's, I don't know, I just came into that. But basically, having to take responsibility at a young age. And so this lifetime, what you're learning is the art of collaboration, okay? That's why you have so much Libra energy here, because you're learning how to be a collaborative, you know, in collaboration with other people. And honestly, especially, I don't know why I'm like hearing somebody that like it's hard to trust. Like it's hard for me to trust people, or it's hard for me to trust other people. Or it's hard for me to unleash or shoulder the responsibility, you know, of other people, or with other people, you know. So sometimes you say yes. So it can be difficult to be in collaboration. You know, you have Mars in Scorpio. You also have Pluto in Scorpio, especially when it comes in the 11th house, and your MC is here. So especially when it comes to like relationships, group settings and things, this makes a powerful leader, very, very powerful leader. But a lot of times you can definitely see, you know, Scorpio has to do with betrayals. It has to do with, you said you love working alone. Yeah, it's natural to you, especially like I said with South Node here. Now, don't get me wrong, Scorpio definitely does have a lot of focus with Mars here. You know, when it sets its mind to something, it sets its sights to something, and whatever it wants to do, it will get those things done. But you could just run into, especially when it comes to like friendships, groups, organizations, and associations with other people, sometimes you can run into like little debacles and things when it comes to like, get your butt up off of there. Get your butt up off of there. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. 1 second. I'm so sorry. Come on. Okay. Whew, the children. Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get the babies out. So, yeah. So learning how to be a co-collaborator with other people. Now, Mercury retrograde in Libra, because usually a lot of times we'll see in charts like directs, but anytime I see like a Mercury retrograde, Mercury being the planet of communication, you know, travel, you know, this has to do with like transactional things as well too. This has to do with contractual agreements that you have as well too. with it being in retrograde, on top of it being in Libra, Libra is already usually indecisive, especially when it comes to decision making. When it comes to like, I don't know, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? I'm not really sure. It can kind of traverse back and forth of like what it wants to do or how it wants to do things and stuff like that. I'll say this though, especially because like I've never seen a stellium. First of all, I've never seen a stellium in Libra like this. Not on this top of the chart. I've seen it on the bottom of the chart, but never on the top of the chart here. I will say this. It's not to say that you can't work alone. It's not to say that you can't do things alone. But I think this is going to ask you, and I feel like as if that maybe even to a degree force you, you're going to have to like let up the restraints of like wanting to do things alone. Like you have, you know, 7th house is in Cancer. Like it's Black Moon, 0 degrees, Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. You need to be nurtured. You need to be cared for. You need to like let in support. You need to allow people to help you. You need to allow people to support you. Getting comfortable with even bouncing your ideas and things with other people, you know. I don't know. This can also be like, especially when it comes to like partnership, and this could be marital partnerships, or this can be like business collaboration and partnerships, because you also have Venus and Libra here too. I just say, just if you can, all right. Because I see that there's a contractual or conflictual agreements. Like, I'm hearing somebody be like, I don't want to be controlled. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I don't want, like, I see like this. There's like a struggle between like relinquishing like your sense of, like your identity comes from this wanting to be in control or wanting to have this control over your physical body, but also having control over yourself. And it feels like reading this when you are having to relinquish that, or you feel like you're having to relinquish that in some way, whether that goes through marriage, whether that's, like I said, in partnership with other people or just in collaboration with other people. It seems like there could be like a little bit of fighting, like, you know, it could get real hasty, you know. I think one thing that I could say to like maybe mitigate this energy though, I'll say this. Maybe getting with people and getting in collaborations with people that share similar interests, okay? Maybe it's something that you like to do. Yeah, I can see, I can tell. I can tell. It's a clash. It's definitely a huge clash when it comes to you and other people, but it's a lesson for you and other people, especially when it comes to like your public, like what it is that you're known for, you know, the things that you want to leave behind in the world. Like, you're meant to be in collaboration. So I would say this. I think in order to, it's not to say that you're not going to avoid it, because I think it's, you know, you have a Sun in Libra in the 10th house here. It's a part of your like life lesson and your bigger mission, your bigger purpose. Find people that you resonate with. So for example, let's say, I don't know. I mean, Libra is like beauty and things. So this could be like fashion. This could be jewelry. This could be pottery. This could be poetry. This could be artists. This could be whatever the case may be. All Libra things. It could be interior design. I don't know. It can also be real estate, because it's ruled by Capricorn. Making things nice, making things beautiful, wedding planning, event planning, you know, things like that. You can see this energy here. I would say get with people who share common goals as you. You know, Capricorn is about like common interests. Like, do we have common ambitions as Capricorn? Do we have a common like ways in which that we're aligned? Like, do we have a common space that we're looking to align? I don't know, stuff like that. And so I say that to say, maybe getting with people who align in those spaces so you can find like a meeting in middle place. Because I feel like I don't know, it feels like to me like one of those scenarios where it's just like, well, I have my own idea of what I want things to look like in this space. How am I trying to say this? I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this, to like relate to like what it is that I'm trying to say. Honestly, the conflict I feel like comes in because I'm just hearing somebody is like, I know how to do it best. Like I know the best way to do it. Therefore, if I do it, I know it's going to get done in the best way. If anybody else does it, it's not going to be done in the way it's supposed to be done. So maybe be a little hands off. I know it's hard for you to do. I know it can be a little bit hard for you to do, but allowing other people to take the reins, all right? Allowing other people to show up within their strengths, right? In their own interests, and the things that they can contribute to the greater whole as Libra, right? So getting comfortable with that, you know, putting your trust in other people and allowing them to bring forth their strengths, you know, having your own strengths, knowing what you bring into spaces and when you bring into rooms, but allowing people to also bring their strengths, allowing other people to also shine in the things that they got going on for them, for themselves, you know, and what they got going on as well. Because yeah, it just seems like that is those are where the crosses conflict,